Hey y'all, I just wanted to do a little home vlog here. I've had a lot of people contact me about, they're going to come down for their trip in 2026 and they kind of want to know, what do I need to bring? What do I need to do? Well, I can tell you that it is December 30th and I am in Claremont, Florida, of course, and I'm about 25 minutes away from Disney. So our weather and the weather at Disney or even Universal are very, very close. It might be 1 or 2 degrees more, it might be 1 or 2 degrees less. But pretty much we have the same weather. So today in Claremont, Florida, on 12/30, 2025, it is 55.8 degrees for a high today. So, just know that in a few days, it's going to be 78, maybe 80 degrees, and we can go anywhere from, 50 degrees and really windy, sometimes damp, the humidity's up a lot in Florida. Even this time of year, sometimes it'll be overcast and you'll have a lot of like humidity and that type of thing. So when it gets that, windy and overcast and cool out, it can get really cold. And especially at night, by the time that you go to fireworks tonight, on a night like, or a day that's 56 for a high, tonight it's going to be about 45, and if the wind is blowing, you're going to get cold. So, of all things, make sure you bring a hoodie. Um, you know, Depending on if you are a very cold natured person, if you're from the more southern states like Georgia or what have you, um, it's cool. So make sure you have the things that are going to keep you warm and comfortable. Now, it could go from 56 degrees to 82, 83 degrees, and we could have a really high UV. And you never know. So that can make 65, 70 degrees feel like 80 if you're from the north. So just know that you need to bring a little mix of everything when you come down this time of year through about the end of January. And then come February or so, you could pack a little lighter. But I would always bring a hoodie, um, some pants, even if they're athletic pants. A lot of people like to wear athletic pants, but something that's a little longer. I wouldn't bet on shorts all the time. Um, Disney does keep the pools heated. I believe they are 82 degrees year round. So I would say, even if you plan on swimming when it's a little cooler, if it's 75 degrees to 80 degrees, you're going to feel okay in that water. Um, but when you get out, I would say if your resort or your hotel does not have a robe in it, I would make sure that you take a robe to the pool with you. Bring a light one, because when you get out, that towel is not going to cut it. I have been stuck like that before, and you talk about a run back to my room. I remember freezing to death after I got out of the hot tub one time. It was so funny. Um, so, that's something to do when it's cool outside. But once you get around spring break time, it's going to get hot and the sun is going to be kicking. So, like I always say, bring that sunblock. Make sure you bring that sunblock. Make sure you take extra socks with you to the park. I always bring baby wipes. I bring wet ones, hand wipes. When you get off the rides, if you don't want to you don't want to put hand sanitizer on all the time if it dries out your hands. It does me. So I get the wet ones with aloe that are antibacterial, which are phenomenal. They're in like a light bluish green package. So try those. Um, I am a big fan of Aspercreme with lidocaine in it. Your feet are going to hurt. It's just something that happens at Disney. Um, Tylenol, Advil, those types of things, make sure your kiddos have that type of stuff because, all that walking is a lot for kids. Even kids that are 9, 10 years old, their legs just really hurt by midday or evening. I see a lot of kids crying. Something that I know a lot of people may need is if for some reason you get overstimulated or you have sensory issues, there are quiet rooms at Disney parks. I am not quite sure how you find those. I know that I have seen them many, many places in the parks. So if you get stuck or you need something like that, just get a cast member and say, I need help. Someone will help you. If you're looking for those at the beginning of the day, which is the best thing to do, and just type it in a little note in your phone or something if they don't have maps for this. But go to guest services and ask them, where are the quiet rooms located in the parks? Because those are things that you never know. I've been overstimulated myself there. I'm not on the spectrum. I don't have any of those issues, but I have friends that do, and friends' children that are, and there are times that people just need to get somewhere quiet and not hear all the sound. And sometimes that happens with little kids and they get really overstimulated, and you see a lot of meltdowns, when that happens. And your child does not have to be on the spectrum or any other issue for you to use those rooms. So do those things and do yourself a favor and find those so that you can get to those if you need to. Take frequent breaks. Bring things to drink, because sometimes the lines are long and sometimes you need a drink right now. Bring your water. Bring whatever you want to bring in. Just don't bring in alcohol. I've said this before. Don't bring in any alcohol. Bring Gatorade in. Bring Powerade in. Bring, Body Armor. Any of those things that have electrolytes in them. You're going to need them when it's hot outside. Sunblock, sunblock, sunblock. I see so many people absolutely burned way more than they should ever be, and then they're still right back out in the sun, and that's just a bad thing to do. It's bad for your skin. It's just bad for you, and it's very dehydrating, and Florida is very dehydrating. So make sure that you are getting all those fluids. Make sure your kiddos are getting it. Sometimes we think that they are, and they're really not. So sometimes when you see those meltdowns, they're probably just too hot. Sometimes kids are in strollers for a long time. Their back is really sweaty. They're overheated. They need to be picked up and out of that. They need to move around some. They need to cool off. That's where those baby wipes come in handy. And those baby wipes come in really handy when your feet are hot, sweaty, and hurting. So take your shoes off. Sit down somewhere. Take your shoes off. Use those wipes. They feel wonderful on your really hot and sweaty and hurting feet. Let your feet breathe for a few minutes while you're taking a break. Get those clean socks out, put them on, put your shoes back on, and rock on after that. But make sure that you're taking breaks, you're looking out for each other. Make sure if someone's getting crabby that they're not hungry and you're not missing, something that they need. Sometimes that happens, and I see that a lot of people, just get really crabby and things going on. It's a lot of pressure. But here's the thing. You're not going to do every single thing in Disney. You're not going to get it done. But there's always the next trip. So plan out your day, what you want to do, and know that lines are going to be 35 minutes to an hour. And for the really big rides, sometimes they're longer. If it's hot, Totes make some really small little umbrellas, like tiny ones you can fit in your purse. Get a couple of those. They fit right down in your backpack. They'll fit in your stroller, several of them, and they're not very heavy. Sometimes it's hard to find shade, and sometimes you really need shade. So pop those open. It's not a problem. You can take those. If you have someone on an ECV, especially an older person, Make sure that they're drinking plenty of fluids as well. They're sitting there in the sun, and a lot of times they don't get up. And sometimes get them to get up and walk around a little bit. Don't let them be on a scooter all day. It really is hard on their body. Um, but make sure everyone has snacks. You can bring your snacks in. Don't forget your snacks. You can bring in your cookies or your chips or power bars or anything, and those are a good thing to take with you. Power bars are. So, it gives you a little boost because you walk a lot of steps. Um, some people walk 10 miles in Disney a day. If I go in there just to vlog and I'm walking around, we sometimes in a couple of hours will walk 4 or 5 miles. And I'm telling you, it wears you out. So, BioFreeze, the little roll on or the cream, either one. But make sure if you're going to use the cream, bring some gloves or put it on your feet or wherever you're hurting with a paper towel or something and wash your hands really well. The last thing you want to do is touch your face or your eyes with any of that stuff. Even the Aspercreme lidocaine. That's why I get the rollerball ones. Those work really, really well. And they're about $6 or $7 a bottle. It's well worth it. The topical just seems like it gets there really fast, and it helps. Being the age that I'm at, I am 54. I'm almost 55. I'll be 55 in May. Your knees ain't what they used to be. And there's a point where you got to give those things a break. Your joints are going to hurt and those things are going to happen. So, in order to have a really good time, make sure you put all those things there and have them with you. Nobody's going to judge. Nobody cares. Everybody's busy enjoying their stuff and doing what they're doing. Make sure if you're a popcorn fan, buy a popcorn bucket or get the little regular buckets they sell. They have themed buckets. Of course, I have a really big problem with these. I just bought a Mickey that's in an elf costume at Christmas. I should have showed you guys that already, but I hadn't. So get the regular ones. They're just little snap lid ones, and you can stick the handle right around your backpack or whatever, and carry it with you, or they'll fit in your backpack. But you can get those refilled, and it's cheaper. So, I would do that. But bring your own drink cups, bring your Stanley cups, bring whatever cup holds, something to drink cold for, 24 hours or whatever. Walmart has one called Towel that they sell, and I have one that I actually use in construction that I've used for several years, and it is beat up, but it still keeps things cold. So, pack your little stuff and bring your little self down and bring your little family down. Bring your sunblock. Make sure you have all your nice little comfy stuff because you're going to need it. But above all things, really, really, really have fun and enjoy yourself. And if you have those little niceties to bring with you, it always helps your day go along and everyone be where they need to be. So, with all this being said, and I hope I helped in some kind of way, it's almost 2026, you guys. I can't believe it. I'm excited for 2026. We are a little behind on some of the things we were going to do. And we still are planning these things. So we'll get there. But I don't want to spoil too much of it. We have a really fun thing coming up in January that we're going to do. But everyone, I hope you have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Everyone be safe. If you are drinking, by all means, please, please, please get an Uber, have someone come and get you. Donate your time as a designated driver. That's a great thing to do if you don't go out or you don't drink and you just want to help people. That's a great thing to donate your time to do. Enjoy yourself and be safe. And you know what? You're beautiful. You're handsome. You're worthy. You're so worthy. Don't ever give up. The new year's coming. Do big things. Shine, baby, shine. You know what else? You're loved. And I love you. Okay.